Welcome, everyone, to Sports Buzz. I am Zach Barnett, your host, and I'm joined in today with NFL pro Kevin Greene. Also played with the Trojans, USC, man. Let's get it rocking with a good one, man. Like with my audience, they know you from USC, and you mentioned the positives of going there. But for me, this question is, what's the I guess the darkest point of your time at USC?
Well, first of all, before we get into that, Zach, I appreciate you having me on as a guest. Eagerly was looking forward to being on this show. I've seen the success that you all are doing, and I'm just fortunate enough to be here. To answer your question, the darkest point that I had at USC, I'd have to say was coming in as a four-star recruit, somebody that was a novice on the football field. I originally started
Mm-hmm.
playing football as a junior in high school, and my skills were just off of pure athleticism to get to the backfield and sack the quarterback. When I got to USC, I realized that I was no longer a big fish in a small pond, but a small fish in the ocean. And so, due to that, I had to have a lot of adversity as far as playing behind guys that were younger than me, playing behind guys that were incoming freshmen, and being a fifth year senior, still having to be on the practice squad while at USC. Those were times when I thought about transferring. Those were times when I thought about quitting the sport. But I continue to tell myself, Zach, that if I continue to do the right thing day in and day out, nothing
Mm-hmm.
but good is going to come from that. And it
Absolutely.
did. And it did. I had the opportunity to play in the NFL after my fifth year while being at USC. But I have to say, my darkest time is just, you know, being able to count the amount of times, the amount of minutes that I played on one hand.
Definitely, man. And changing positions in college, that's pretty tough to do, and that's asking a lot. But
Absolutely.
sometimes you have to do that to, I guess, catch your break. And the NFL, it's that same way. They preach special teams a
Yes,
lot, a lot.
they
So
do.
so with the USC platform, there's been so many great players that's come through that building and played on that field. So for you, who's on the Mount Rushmore of
My Mount Rushmore of USC.
best talent?
Best talent.
Yep.
I have to say, I look back and I think about the reason why I decided to go to USC and the
Mm-hmm.
players that laid that foundation. I think obviously you have to go with Reggie Bush. You have
True.
to go with Reggie. I think second to that, my personal favorite was Taylor Mays, who I had the opportunity to play with while I was at USC. Um, Aside from him, I was a very big fan of. Um, I got a chance to play with both Robert Woods and Marquise Lee, and those were two guys.
Great receivers.
Marquise won the Bolitnikoff Award. Robert was very close, but Robert holds tons of records while being at USC. So being able to witness that history while being, on the sideline was something incredible. And I'd have to say, well, I guess that's four people. So I guess that is my Mount Rushmore.
I'm shocked you didn't say Junior Seau.
I was gonna say Junior. I was gonna say Junior.
Such a great player, also.
Of course he was. The reason I did not say Junior, he's a lot older than me,
Mm-hmm.
and I personally can only speak to the people that I saw in person.
True.
Of course, there's tons of players that left a lot of history there, but I believe everybody went to USC because of, at least my generation went to USC because of what they saw Reggie do.
Mm-hmm.
I think people my age, I'll be 30, 35 this year, we saw how Taylor Mays led that defense to greatness and the presence that he brought on the field. And then personally being there, seeing the history that both Marquise Lee and Robert Woods brought day in and day out, and just how they embodied the Trojan spirit and just what it meant to be a Trojan. I can speak to seeing that and being able to be a teammate, sharing tears, sharing blood, sharing sweat with those guys day in and day out, frustrations and happiness. I can
De-
speak to that.
Definitely, man. I completely understand.
Yeah,
And the reason why I brought up that little take on you playing both sides of the ball, my t-
absolutely.
my next question is uh, Hunter Travis Hunter. He's
Okay.
trying to go to the NFL and play both offense and defense.
Hmm.
What are the chances that he does that? It's a lot of wear and tear on the body, and me personally, once he sees the paychecks receivers get,
Yes.
I don't think that's going to happen. That's just my take. But I want to hear what you have to say, Vet.
You know, defense wins championships, offense sells tickets.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way that I see things. I think that he would have a great opportunity to go out and be a DB at a respected team on the defensive side, and then for offense, being a kick returner or being a strategic wide receiver for specific plays would be something that would be huge for him. Of course, the competition that he saw while being in Colorado was good, but it's a whole different animal in the NFL. You have millionaires on both sides, and with the success that he had at Colorado, he's going to have a target on his back, as he should. And I think he wants that target on his back. He thrives for that. I personally think he's going to go defense, but I'd love to see him on offense as well. But it can be very hard to do both. But
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, if you can do special teams and you can do defense, why not make it happen? Why
True.
not?
But like the value they put on receivers now,
Right.
I think that's too much to I guess deny for him. Like it's
Yeah, I think that there's definitely a bigger paycheck on the defensive side with him being
mm-hmm.
a DB than there is a wide receiver. And I think that whatever team he goes to, they're going to have their star receiver. They're going to be looking for somebody that can, go toe to toe with a lot of the wide receivers that are in the NFL. And so if he can
Definitely.
show that he can lock a lot of these guys down, which he has shown in college, I think he'll be fine. So personally, I'd like to see him play DB just because he has those lessons taught from Dion.
Mm-hmm.
But from a fan standpoint, right, somebody that would enjoy just to watch the game as a fan, not as a former player. Of course, you want to see him score a touchdown, but he can
Absolutely.
do both playing defense. He can do both. He can do
Definitely.
both. He can do both.
Definitely.
He cannot
He
catch a pick six playing offense.
definitely. He's definitely going to go probably top five. Where's the landing spot for him, you think?
I think for Travis Hunter, I can see top five for sure. But with the NFL and the way that these trades work last minute, maybe he might drop one spot down to six. I think that Travis's biggest thing is he wants to play in the NFL and he's eager and anxious to do so. I don't think that where he lands he's going to be top 10, but I don't think where he lands in the top 10 is going to, change the success or change how well he plays come OTAs and then come the beginning of the season. He's still going to light up the stat sheet. And so I think his biggest thing is just doesn't matter where I go, just as long as I have an NFL jersey.
Absolutely. And I think if I was New England, and that's
Mhm.
that's my squad, of course.
Yeah.
But I'd run to that podium if I was him and put his
Yes.
name down.
Yes. You have to strike while the iron's hot. I mean, you have somebody that is a a switchblade, if you will, that
Mm-hmm.
can play on both sides of the ball, and that is extremely rare to see. Especially being a wide receiver and a DB. I've seen guys that can play linebacker and fullback, but that position really fullback isn't a position that is gravitated towards nowadays. So if I'm the Patriots, I'm looking at him very heavily, very
Me,
heavily.
me too. And they were
Yeah.
they were hoping Marcus Jones, the corner
Mhm.
from Houston, would be that type of
Right.
player to play offense and defense. And Hunter being there on the board,
Yeah.
you better put that
Exactly. And
call
I
the
think
commissioner on that one.
I think that'll alleviate a little bit of pressure off of Marcus because now he can just focus on one thing and not have to be.
Mm-hmm.
He did get drafted high, but now that he has somebody that can help him, I think that'll let him be a little bit more comfortable this upcoming season.
Absolutely. So, Kevin, my show wouldn't be the same if I didn't ask my continual topic, my last question.
Okay.
So, it's 5 words to best describe this. So, this one is what are the 5 words to best describe Kevin Greene?
5 words to best describe KG. I have to say a leader, I always try my best to lead by example in whatever I do. Um, I'd say resilient. I've definitely been somebody that has been through a lot of bullshit in my life. From the passing of my father to not getting the amount of snaps that I wanted to see at USC and still being able to overcome both struggles. I'd have to say, man, I need three more words. Yeah, leadership, resilient. I'd have to say, mm, I'd have to say serious, man. I think I'm somebody who, no matter where I'm at, I am a very funny guy. I do joke a lot, but I think 7 times out of 10, you're going to get the professional side of me. So I am instead of serious, we'll go with professional, a very professional type person. I always carry myself like that. Two more
Gotcha.
words. Knowledgeable. I'm extremely knowledgeable about a lot of stuff. I'm not somebody who thinks that they know everything, but I know more than most on several topics, and I enjoy speaking to that. Last word, five. Mm, last word, five. Man, I am a very compassionate person. I am somebody that will give the shirt off of my back to somebody. And my girlfriend, she tells me that, babe, you have way too much compassion sometimes. But sometimes I'll be walking out of Safeway, out of the local grocery store here, and I'll see somebody outside that wants a meal or something like that. I may have a random thought to give them a meal and, take the shirt off that I have and give it to them, right? As I'm on my way home from the grocery store. It's like, it's a shirt. I can get another one. I think that's something that I've had throughout my whole life. It's a kind of a weird, it's a weird part of me that I enjoy that sometimes people don't understand. But, I think if you put good into this world, nothing but good is going to come back.
Definitely humanitarian, my
There
guy.
we go. There we go.
Hey, that could have been a good word.
That could have been a good one. Hey, we can throw that in. We can take one out and throw that in there.
Well, Kevin Greene, man, it's been a blessing and an honor to have you on Sports Buzz with me, Zach Barnett, and we'd welcome you back for another one, man.